It's 1956, and we're about to start our very first role-playing game. No. Oh, no, it's not 1956. It's 2019. Happy New Year to you. If you happen to celebrate New Year, or are happy, or on planet Earth. Hello and welcome to this episode of How to Be a Great Player. My name is Guy, and today we're looking at the New Year challenge for you. Now, this is a process, this is a new thing that we're starting here on the channel. There's so many new things starting on the channel. If you haven't watched yesterday's episode on Great GM of all the things coming up in 2019, you really have missed out and should go and have a look at that video. There are things aplenty, and don't worry, Great Player is not going to be left behind. We've got so much stuff to do this year, so many things to explore, so many aspects and avenues and things that it really is exciting. I mean, a list of questions that I'm going to be handling which are submitted to the channel via email, via the Facebook page, via Twitter, via Instagram, via Patreon, via Discord. I've got them all. And we've got months of questions already stacked up and ready to be answered. And they are some fascinating topics that we will be looking at in the next couple months at the very least. We're going to be going on a journey, and I hope that you're going to be with me on that journey. Now, part of that journey is this year's challenge. So what is the challenge for this year? The challenge is designed to help you to become a better player. And we're going to do that not by necessarily the more conventional routes. We're going to challenge you to do this. A new class. If you role play in a system that has classes, if you role play in a system that has types, occupations, careers, if you always play the ranger, if you always play the mage, time for a change. You're going to create a new class, or play a new class. If you have a classless system, you're going to try and play a different occupation or a different type of character in terms of their basic fundamentals. If you normally play the bruiser, play the intimidated, humble, little quiet, non-violent type. For example, if you don't have a class system. If you do have a class system, however, play a class you've never played before. And don't just play them as a once-off. Really get into it, unpack it, explore it, discover the joys that comes with a new class. Every single class has got nuances. There are people who love every single class, and there are people who hate every single class. So it's really about finding a class that you haven't touched before and now playing it, and really playing it, and trying to understand why it is that you haven't played this character before. Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. As a matter of fact, when you join your table, you can say, this is part of the Great Player Challenge, that I have to play a new class, so please bear with me as I try to unpack the intricacies of psionic powers. Bear with me as I go through this process. So it's a new class. It's a new system. Now, you as a player, what control do you have over the system that your GM runs? You have a huge amount of control. You can go to your GM and say, oh, I noticed on your bookshelf you've got that system. Can we play it? I want to know what that system's about, especially if it uses a different dice mechanic. So many systems use the D20 or a D10. Try something different. Try something that makes use of, say, for example, cards. Or maybe it doesn't even use dice. Maybe it's a diceless system. Try something different. Explore it and see what it's like. You never know. Why is that going to be beneficial to you? We'll talk about that a little bit later on. A new race. Try a new race. And I'm not saying switch from the 100 meters to the 500 meters. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yep, 2019 is going to be that year. Try a new race. If you don't play elves, play an elf. If you don't play dwarves, play a dwarf. I'm going to try and play a halfling. I've never been a fan of halflings. Never, ever been a fan of halflings. But I want to try and understand why people like halflings. I'm going to try and unpack halflings and discover for myself the benefits of playing one of the little furry-footed folk. We'll see. We'll see. Try a new race. Try a new type. What's a type, I hear you ask? Well, if you head on over to our Great GM Plays channel, you'll find a series of GM videos, all player videos. This is where the player channel really started, on type, character type. And there are 9 different types. Try a different type, not the loner type, but try one of the other types that you don't normally play. Or try playing with the types. Something to think about. You're also going to try a new gender. This is a contentious one, and a lot of people say, oh, sure, but try it. Try playing someone who is, say, non-binary, or try playing the opposite sex. See if there is a difference. See if you can bring a difference. See if you can find a difference. Most important of all, however, is that you need to make sure that whatever you do, that your fellow players can pick up on it. That's what a new gender is all about. So if you are going to, say, play a man, and you are a feminine, or you are a woman and you're trying to play a man, let the other players have to see that man. Let them understand that your character is the man. And your ultimate goal is when the players say, oh, I let her or him or they go first, that they are saying that. They're not getting the genders mixed up because you yourself are one of those 3, an opposite to your character. That's the ultimate goal, because then that, I think, is really embodying that. It's a different type of expression to type, race, system, class. Yes, it doesn't mechanically give you an advantage in most systems, but it is something to stretch your role-playing abilities just that step further. And then, as I advocate, get a new set of dice. Dice are always good to get. They're always fun. You can choose your colours, whether they're sparkly or whatever. Just remember not to make sure that you can absolutely read what's written on them, and that they're not transparent dice with basically transparent numbers on them. Make sure that they're practically useful, as well as being pretty and nice and collectible and added to your collection. We've featured many dice on the channel before if you're stuck for trying to find something. I would always advocate, however, going to your local convention and picking up some there. Support the convention stall holders, and sometimes you find some really amazing dice. I mean, I found dice made out of reindeer bones, which I thought was fantastic when I was in Finland. That's lovely. Very different, very, very memorable. They roll horridly, but very memorably nonetheless. So I suggest getting new dice. So why should you do this? Why bother trying a new class or a new system or a gender? Why? New experiences. You get a new experience when you try something different. It might be a bad experience. I'm not saying that it's going to be a good experience, but even a bad experience gives you perspective. Oh, I tried playing a druid. Oh, they were horrid. They were horrid. Oh, they couldn't do this. They could only do that. I kept turning into a tentacle creature. It was like being stuck in a bad Japanese anime. It was horrid. Now, I hate druids, but I played a druid. So it gives you new experiences. It gives you new opportunities too. Oh, I absolutely loved playing the cleric. I didn't know that clerics could be so much fun. I did this, I commanded that, I had followers, I was eventually made into a god. It was lovely. New opportunities arise when you try new things. If you don't try new things, you don't get new opportunities. Not necessarily. New knowledge, a new game system, a new perspective. Again, you're not going to get it if you stick with the same one. If you've always played Call of Cthulhu and you don't play, say, the Star Trek system or the Star Wars system, you're not going to gain insight into how many different ways, and there are literally hundreds, or if not more, there are probably thousands of role-playing systems that you can use. And if you've only been playing one of them, well, there's a whole bunch of knowledge out there that you can grasp to help improve your experience in role-playing. It really is worth it. So there are 3, as far as I'm concerned, the most important things as to why you should do this. What is your reward for doing those things? That's your reward. There's more, though. I want you to join our Discord server. And this is a genuine plea. Now, I joined the Discord servers. People said to me, make a Discord server. Anyway, I made a Discord server, and I spoke about it yesterday. Join the Discord server. There's a folder, there's a channel that will be called Challenge. And in that challenge, we will list, you and me and everybody else who watches this video, we will list our success stories as we work through the 2019 challenge. So together, we can unpack classes, we can unpack races, we can discuss and talk and Look at how we're doing things. Now, this channel is coming with a whole lot of rules, and those rules are nobody is wrong. Nobody is being judgmental. Nobody is being persecutory. The Discord goblins will jump on you and silence you. They are vicious, nasty, savage little creatures. We had to tie chains around them over Christmas. They were just gnashing their teeth. They were making the Discord server a wonderful place. And the challenge is a safe space for everyone to explore. So if you're coming along saying, well, I'm trying this class, but I hate this class, they stink. No one is going to jump down your throat and tell you that you're wrong, 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 wrong. I would encourage you to say, well, this is what you could look at as to maybe changing your mindset. So it's a safe space where we can discuss and catalog our changes. I'm not expecting you to go through all of these in one day. Don't try and play a new system where you play a new class and a new race and a new type and a new gender because you've never played in that system before. That's cheating. It's a new class in the current system that you play. It's a new race in your usual system that you play. It's a new type in any system that you play. Only the new system is allowed to be a new system where you start trying out these different things. So it's always about pushing your space in just a little way. And this is not difficult for 2019. We can do this. I'm going to do this too. I will be logging as I go along the responses that I've played a new class. I played a new class in this system or in that system. And I don't get to play a lot. So this is if I can play 6 games where I can try out these different things, I will be ecstatic. I really will be ecstatic. Because usually I'll be running all of these things. So the GM challenge is going to be the easy one for me. The player challenge is going to be a challenge. Anyway, I just want to say thank you to all of our Patreons for making this video possible. Their support really does do that, as does yours, by watching the video, watching the ads at the front and at the back and in the middle and on the sides and around the bottom and across the top. You support the channel that way as well. So I do thank all of you who have disabled your ad blocker. If you have. If you haven't, well, give it a thought. They're not that bad, and I struggle through them as well, don't worry. We're all there. Sometimes you do kind of find some cool stuff, though. I have once, by mistake, found something rather awesome. Anyway, until next time, happy playing. Okay, so a new class. I want to be a I hate sorcerers with wild magic. I hate wild magic. I hate it. Oh. Hit that like button if you wanted to play a sorceress halfling. Oh my God, I could think of nothing worse. Combine those two together and then with the type. What type can I play? Dependable. I don't often play a dependable. I've played a protector recently. I've played an adventurer. Yeah, dependable. I'm going to play a dependable halfling sorcerer female. That's what I'm going to do. Oh, it's going to be nasty. I'm going to try and play them for multiple sessions, or at least in multiple games. Wow. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough.